Every time I show my AI workflow to a friend, the reaction is always the same. They tell me, wait, I didn't understand anything, but now you just opened a door for me. The truth is, most people only scratch the surface of AI. But when you learn to combine Perplexity, Grok and Gemini with the method I'm about to show you, it opens doors you thought were closed. You don't just find answers, you unlock opportunities, clarify your thinking, and become untouchable in your field. Here's how I do it. Let's take a real-life example. I wanted to know which instrument boosted memory the most. The answer I found wasn't on Google, nor in the first AI response. It required a method. Here is my secret 3-step workflow to go from curious to expert. Before even opening the AI, there are 2 documents you must write. This is the key that 90% of users are missing. The first is your bio. Open a Google Doc and frankly list what you have accomplished. Your skills, your experiences, everything. Why? Because the AI needs to know you to judge you neutrally. For example, being a musician, I understand certain nuances that the AI needs to take into account. It must understand the correlations between my skills to give me a tailored answer, not a generic answer for a beginner. The second document is your manifesto. And listen carefully, because this is the point that will unlock you not only in your research, but in your entire life for years to come. Why must you absolutely do it? Because by writing down your values, you will realize something brutal. You are full of contradictions. We all have inconsistency between what we think and what we do. Writing this manifesto is studying up, it's confronting yourself, and it gives you 2 superpowers. Total clarity of mind, you know exactly who you are, and unshakable emotional stability. Imagine a debate or conflict. If you know your weaknesses and have already answered your own contradictions, no one can touch you anymore. You become verbally untouchable. Those who don't have this clarity, you can sweep away their arguments like leaves in the wind. That is the true power of the manifesto. And for the AI, it is the icing on the cake. It will no longer settle for giving you standard answers. It will respond to you knowing your worldview. Concretely, it fits on 2 pages. You must define 3 things. What you don't like about the world, what you want to change, and how are you going to go about it. Once written, give it to Grok, your favorite AI or another person's model. Just avoid ChatGPT, which is too gentle. Ask it to be ruthless and point out your inconsistencies. Here is the prompt to help you. The link is in the description. Do it once, update it every 5 years, and you have your base. Now that the framework is set, we move on the research. In my case, I like to start by asking questions to Gemini, because it's a model that has nuanced answers, and above all, it's very well connected to YouTube. I start the discussion, how does this or that instrument influence the brain? And we start to see interesting theories. However, there is a problem. Currently, when it comes to giving me links to precise studies, Gemini is not great. This is where you need to change tools. You have to go to Perplexity, which is truly the best to finding sources. Here is my technique. I copy-paste the interesting affirmations from Gemini and I put them into Perplexity, asking it, find me the links and studies on this precise subject. But here a crucial tip. Activate academic search. If you don't do it, you risk stumbling upon blog articles that are not necessarily reliable. You want science, not opinions. And a small warning, always check the links. It happens that Perplexity gives a good quote, but the link to the study is broken or imprecise. Be vigilant. Let's go back to my music example. I asked Perplexity to compare 6 instruments on the 5 types of memory and to make me a ranking in the form of a table. This is where the magic happens. For some points, I expected the answer. The piano is the top tier. It's logical. But I had a surprise. The drums are also classified as top tier. So that surprised me. On the drums, you don't play notes. No complex melody. So why is it good for memory? That's the point of research, stumbling upon unexpected results. And since Perplexity has all the context, I can specifically delve into this point. This is the difference between asking a question and doing research. We cross-reference data, check sources, and discover nuances that intuition alone would not have found. Now I have tables in Perplexity, ideas in Gemini. It's chaos. It needs to be tied up. I go to my Google Doc and copy the results from Perplexity to keep a trace on my drive. And this is where I make a maneuver. I reconnect Gemini to this Google Doc. I ask it to analyze everything we found and to give me a complete report that synthesizes everything. This allows me to test the latest theories and get an overview. But before concluding, I want a final opinion, a brutal opinion. I go back to Grok, because this is the most direct AI, the one with the fewest filters. I submit my conclusions to it and ask it what it thinks. It's the best way to check if I haven't gotten carried away by my enthusiasm. And don't ask YouTube links, it's not good for that. Keep it for pure logic. There you have it, the complete workflow. But one question remains. If the AI does all this, what is my purpose? Do you now understand the importance of your expertise, the one we put in the bio at the beginning? It is the mix of real-world practice and AI research that makes the difference. Only an expert, a musician, an athlete, coder, can see when the AI is hallucinating or when it is missing the nuance. AI can do incredible things, perhaps even create better music or run faster than us with robots. But look at sport. We invented the car, which goes much faster than any human. Have we stopped watching the 100-meter final at the Olympics for all that? No. For someone purely pragmatic, running is useless when you have a car. But that is a limited view. We run for our health, for performance, for the beauty of a gesture. It is the same thing for the intellect. AI is your race car, but you are the one who must maintain mental health, vision, and the beauty of a gesture. Artists will continue to make art, and you must continue to think. If you want to apply this method, I have put the manifesto prompt in the description so you can test your values starting tonight. See you soon.